Welcome back everyone to Pineleaf Plays the Rune-keeper, and we are here in the Chamber of Crossroads where we are going to be speaking with Bossy.
I have need of your great skill.
Welcome, Pinestone, to the Chamber of Crossroads. This shall be my command center for a time as we establish our presence here in Moria. Will busy ourselves with the making ready to restore the mines and cities beneath the mountains. I will never forget the great deeds you have done on behalf of the Iron Garrison, and I eagerly await tales of your future achievements. I am ever at your service, and may your feet lead you well into the darkness of Khazad-dûm and beyond. Alright.
We must be cautious. Dwarves have not lived here for long years.
We have established a presence within Moria, Pinestone, and will stage further excursions into the depths from this room, the Chamber of Crossroads. This once served as a guard room for watching the 3 passages just to the south, but has been empty for many long years. Many creatures have thrived in the darkness during the long absence of the dwarves, especially the greybig, fierce and loathsome insects spawned from the deep. Seek out all varieties of greybig in the western levels to the south and west of the chamber, and eliminate them. This will be our small step in reclaiming the great delving for my people. There is much to be done before true progress can be made. So therefore, we start by killing insects. I know. That's the thing about this particular part of the epic, is that there is a bit of a conflict between where you go and where you need to go optimally for the epic, and where you need to go for the main storyline of the local storyline, whatever you want to call the non-epic part. Some people call them the side quests, but the main plot of a area to me is hardly exactly a side quest. Now, am I going up the right way? Actually, no, I'm not. I need to go that way. Sorry about that. That would have led me deeper and deeper into Moria, and there are other quests, of course, in that direction. But fortunately I caught that before I became too lost. So it's at least good that even though I'm easily lost, I'm not necessarily easily, or at least that I don't always stay lost, which is... Oh, goblin. So let's take care of this goblin. Now, of course, we know where the best place to find those insects is. And that is in the Palace of Nine, whatever. The area, well, this is part of the area, though of course you see that here we have just cave crawlers. And, oh, wrong way. Really easily lost. I have to find some adverbs to throw into the in front of easily, right? Alright, there we go. Here's one. Now we can take care of a few more. And if we run out of these, then we just go and go after the ones where we killed the queen and all that, since you know that there are going to be a few more of these. Oh, a mirror. Adjusting this mirror has helped the paths of the Dolphin View to be much better lit than they were previously. This will likely save many from falling and taking the wrong turn. Well, it won't help me in that way, so I'll take a wrong turn no matter what, no matter how well it's lit. Alright, so We'll speak with someone at the Dolphin View in order to report that we improved the lighting a little bit. And this is back where we got the quest for the insects. In fact, see there's the goat station up there. Lama Doom. Now, optimally, one would like to get their epic quests and the local quests at the same time. Actually, usually some of the areas also include some side plot ones also, which I'll call. I pretty much think almost that that little thing here, killing insects, is probably more of a side, what I would call a side quest. No, it's not part of the main storyline of Moria, and not part of the epic. Little thing going into a little corner and killing a few insects. But in order to get to this quest, you've had to go to the Chamber of Crossroads, which of course you normally wouldn't do if you didn't have the epic storyline. You wouldn't be getting there until after you've done a couple other areas, by which time, of course, you wouldn't have gotten to this quest also if you didn't go to the Dolphin View. But if you went to the Dolphin View, you came by here and got the quest in order to kill these insects. So it's a bit of a conflict there, and it's not all that unusual in Moria, unfortunately. The epic storyline is just not designed to fit well with the rest of the quests within Moria. And that's one of the reasons why you feel like you're going back and forth all over the place. And Ending complains about if you just do the epic story, for example, you do a lot of running around that you wouldn't normally have. It makes things even feel worse, because you do around just for one little thing and then you leave the area. So when they revamped Moria, of course, things didn't get too much better, because even in revamped Moria, the quests still don't align very well with the epic storyline, so that shows you which one was not quite in sync with everything else. And you also notice that when you looked at the levels of the epics, it used to be that the epic story, the levels were a little bit different, and that was because they started sending you into various areas that were a little bit above your level in order to do the epic storyline. So they eventually raised the levels for the various epic quests to be more in line with those areas. I think today the ones who write the epic story and the ones who are writing the world stories are talking to each other a little bit more than they used to. Here it looks like they just both had the general idea that you're going to start in by entering this place, and that you're going to be finishing up by exiting at the other. Alright. So that takes care of the little insects, so we'll take a little break as we head back to the Chamber of Crossroads. Alright, we're back at the Chamber of Crossroads, and let's see what Bossy has to say.
You have done well, friend.
Good work! You are ever a friend at need, and I am at your service. You continue to impress me with your inextinguishable fervor towards our cause, alright?
Records and histories of Moria will aid us, if you can find them.
The Gredbig were a dreadful hazard, and despite your efforts, they will undoubtedly return in time. but we cannot spend overlong dealing with this minor threat. To wholly wipe them out would involve resources beyond what I can provide. We must turn now to other matters, and defend ourselves against the returning Greybig wherever we must. What I truly desire above all else is a chance to look at records and histories from the old days. Who knows what secrets lie untold beneath the dust? Pages, tablets, and tomes to be found throughout the caverns of Moria. There should be storehouses located within the great delving of Moria, and they are thus named the Chamber of Knowledge, the Chamber of Wisdom, and the Chamber of Deep Thought. Find these storehouses within the great delving, and search them all for records of the old days. Return to me when you have found something from each area. Now, we have actually been to 2 of those locations already. One of them is the place where we found the spider. Actually, my usual trick on this one.
May Durin return soon to his halls.
So we'll go to Dolphin View. Now, I remember the path the goat takes for this correctly, because there are 2 different paths you can take to Dolphin View. One of them is to go the way I went in order to fight those insects, since you realize that that little place we went by took you right by that turn-off point where you go to Dolphin View. We're still going to get to those bats at some point. And the other way here takes you back over the bridge the way that we came with the journal. And the reason why I'm coming this way is because it is going to place us right in front of one of those. Okay. Oh yes. I guess I usually take the other way when I right in front of this one right here. The Chamber of Knowledge. So here we are at the Chamber of Knowledge. And we find some wizard pages within the strongbox. And the script is still legible, and it should be something really useful, isn't it? Blacksmith Ongli demonstrated his plan for a new weapon today. Such a plan would have anyone else laughed from the court, but he has the trust of Durin, and any demands he makes are greeted with affection and all the resources he might desire. Had I such patronage, I too might create works of such beauty and weapons of such might. The latest child of his largesse, an axe made entirely of mithril, so light it might be wielded by one-handed even by a child of 50, and so sharp that it might cut through all things with a single sweep. Ziegelberg it will be called, and it will be of Durin. That's a special group of forges shall be built solely for its making. And that's quite impressive. When you see later the forges built for this, you'll think that is certainly something impressive for one little thing. Even more insult, Ongli has always coveted his privacy, and the door to these forges will be hidden, only opened through some trick. The trick will be recorded at Katub Zahar, but that does me little good. I will not be given access to these forges, and my labors will continue to pale in comparison with those of Ongli. A curse upon the head of Ongli and his secret forge and the mithril axe that will make there. May his work come to nothing, and his name never be remembered. Hrothi. Now it's interesting that he's talking about curses there, and because I presume that some people may say that perhaps he successfully cursed the axe. Well, You'll see later what I'm talking about there, and this is not the way in which I originally came down, but for some reason I always missed the turn off for going down the stairs, so I wind up coming up this way instead of coming back up the... Actually, I have to wait to the cooling chamber. The stair I took down originally was down that way. Alright, let's turn in at least a couple of quests here.
Azog's folk have not yet fully repaid for their crimes against us.
A journal of a fallen dwarf pointed you to the levers of the Dolphin View water resources? How strange. What a brave dwarf. And you were very good for making the effort on his behalf, whoever he was. It will be some time before we can spare a team of craftsmen to go down there and repair them. How sad that one would fall when pursuing a fruitless endeavor. And what do we have here? Oh, a pretty decent bracelet it looks like. So we'll take that and see what level of stuff are we doing right now. Actually, it's a little bit tough to tell that right because we're mixing areas as we're going along here. But I'd say we're mainly doing 51s right now, so let's turn that off. Let's report in here.
I am not sure Khazad-dûm can be restored. The orcs have surely ruined it.
So you were the one that adjusted the light, were you? At first I thought there was a fire, and that we were about to be attacked. But then I realized that the light was a warm, gentle one. I knew then that it came from one of the ancient mirrors I've heard so much about. I am only happy that I lived to see the beauty of the light system in Khazad-dûm. Alright, there we go. So that's reflections, and those mirrors will be seen all over the place later on. And that will bring us here. Let's go to our second chamber, and that one is also near Dolphin View. And that goes, oops, missed the turn. And that goes up here. There we go. Alright, let's see about this one. In this old strong box. And I found a broken tablet in the strong box. Its inscription can still be discerned, and well, obviously nothing important enough that they bothered telling me anything about that. So that's the second point. Now the third point is the Chamber of Deep Thought, which is way down near the threshold. So we'll take a little break as we take a goat to that location. We are now approaching the Chamber of Deep Thought. We will dismount right here and head in this way. And here we are, the Chamber of Deep Thought. Fortunately, we don't have to worry about spiders this time. So here's the strongbox. Any final weather tome within the strongbox, some of its text can still be deciphered. Ah, yes, here it is, the musty tome. And the broken tablet, yeah. Iron delivered to Narendel, yeah, right. Whoop-de-doo. And 4 bushels of grain purchased from tokens of iron, blades made of, yeah, nice inventory stuff, really exciting stuff of epic stories. Well, next time we'll take all this wonderful information to our friends at the Chamber of Crossroads in the next episode of Pineleaf plays the Rune-keeper.